here with the very first, the original, the legendary, the elusive Manny Martinez. Manny, thanks for taking a few minutes to talk to us. So let's go right back to the beginning. Take me back to Lodi. What was it like growing up in Lodi?
Well, Lodi was cool. A little rough when I first got there. You had to learn how to fight because I was Latin. But after 6 or 7 months, all I started doing was hanging out with musicians. That's how I met Glenn and them and a lot of other musicians.
So what inspired you to pick up the sticks and play drums?
Oh, that happened a long time ago. I was five or six.
That young, huh?
Yeah. My first set of drums were Zimgar.
Zimgar?
It was a Japanese set. My father got them in New York, in the Bronx, at a pawn shop.
So what were you listening to? Did you come from like a musical family that was
No,
it
was just me.
and you just decided you wanted to be a drummer?
Yeah. I don't know how that happened, but I wanted to play. I met Buddy Rich and stuff like that. He was a jazz player.
Great drummer.
Yeah. In that time, I guess I was weird because like when Beatles and stuff like that was around, I was playing like country music and stuff like that. I had bluegrass bands and stuff like that. Any band, any kind of band, any kind of music I love. So.
Did you teach yourself how to play?
Yeah. Well, Buddy Rich helped me a lot. But a lot of people saying, well, he plays lefty, he should be playing left the other way. And he said, hey, he's good the way he is, let him go. Right? My uncle had a club in New York. And I used to go there in small gym, people like 40 years old. It was fun.
So you were a natural, basically.
I guess so, yeah.
Now your style of playing, when you first pre-Misfits, were you always very jazzy, and then that came from more like a Buddy Rich type of background?
Yeah.
So you just basically, he was kind of like your mentor? Or...
Yeah, well that's mostly how I learned, you know what I mean? Like jazzy style, like I like Zeppelin and stuff like that and stuff then, you know what I mean? But I always like to be like a lead drummer, to have that where people would notice me, you know what I mean?
Sure. So maybe like a Ginger Baker was like that for Cream.
Yeah.
I always thought you kind of reminded me of Ginger Baker as far as like playing wise. You just have that.
I did a lot of trips and stuff, yeah.
It definitely was, you can tell that's where you came from.
Yeah.
So what was the first band that you were in that actually started doing shows and maybe,
That was with Guy Liacano. We used to do like polka and stuff like that. And, country rock and stuff like that. That was the first band that we really started playing.
I'm surprised country up in Lodi. I wouldn't think it's a country.
Manny. I don't know, it's just happened.
I could picture you with a cowboy hat on.
No. Cowboy boots and a cowboy hat you will never see. I'll be dead in a coffin and I'll get up and take that damn thing off.
How did you meet Glenn?
Well, I knew Glenn to school and stuff like that. But I knew he was playing with like Jerry Byers and a couple other people. They always played together, and Jim Catania. They always had a thing together. Jerry Byers, Glenn, and I don't know who was playing lead. I think Steve Winter. He was playing lead, and I have a girlfriend that used to live up there, and that was grammar school. And,
Wow.
Yeah, and I used to go, pass by and I could hear them jamming at Jerry's house. So me, I got to go find out, you know what I mean? And I heard his voice, and they were doing doors and stuff like that. And I said, ooh, gotta learn. to know that man.
So what band was that he was in at the time? Was it
No name.
just it was a no name doing covers and stuff?
Yeah, there was a lot of no-name bands. Never got out of the basement. Just practice, and then break up.
So was there a point where they were looking for a drummer and they found you, or you found them, or how did you meet up?
No, I had a band. That was a country band. It was country rock. It was yeah.
Manny's Cowboys.
Yeah. Yeah. But we the two guys that we played with, there was Tony Leak and Charlie Jones. We used to call him Space Jones because he was really spaced out there, let me tell you. And the band broke, I met them and we were looking for a singer. I said, I know a guy. And at that time, Glenn wasn't playing with a band. So we brought him into the band. And that's when we started pulling. And that was, Doors, Elton John we did. All kinds of, rock songs and stuff like that.
So it was a cover band you guys started out?
Yeah.
Was he playing piano at the time?
No, just singing.
Just singing.
Just singing. We played at one time, we was together like 6 months. And we played once, and I told you that Tony Leak was in his underwear, wrapped up with saran wrap. And he said this band was plastic. And we played the one gig. It's right next to a college, and that was it. We broke up.
Was it because of the saran wrap that you broke up, or was
Well,
it?
he was leaving the band, so we figured, oh well, start something else. So the guys asked me if I wanted to stay with them, and I said, no, I think I'm staying with Glenn. And then Glenn and we first practiced in his basement. It was just, I had 2 sets of drums, so I brought my smaller set, and we practiced in his basement. And then we got kicked out of there.
Too noisy.
Things happen, electric bill. And we started the Misfits then. It was just me and Glenn. And Jerry next door, Jerry had a girl next door, and was my neighbor. And I looked in his car one day because we were thinking about getting a guitar player and a bass player, and I found a bass player. And we got him green, picked on really quick. He was smart, Jerry. He was real smart, and that became the Misfits.
So right from the time you and Glenn put together the Misfits, did he play keyboards just out of necessity, or was it just?
Yeah, well, that's how he wrote his songs.
It was on keyboard.
Yeah. And then roll the keys, and he would teach him how to play the bass. This is what we want, and that's how Jerry was new. He picked up really quick. Once you got Jerry and stuff like that, we practiced. Glenn would be putting out songs, 5 songs a week. We would learn 5 songs a week, and with the keyboards and bass. And then
So you knew early on that you were going to do all originals.
all originals, yeah, we knew that. That was the plan.
Be an all original
Yeah.
band. Was there an original scene? Like, was there a scene in Lodi and the surrounding areas for original bands at that time?
No,
So you were doing something totally different.
yeah, it was all original. Either you liked us or you didn't.
Did people like you?
At first, no, but we played with people like punk music.
Was that considered punk at that time?
No.
No.
Summer songs, that was Glenn. That was totally Glenn.
Because I think this stuff it has more of like a 50s kind of, drive-in 50s greaser kind of vibe to it than it does, punk.
That was total Glenn. He's writing on the piano and stuff like that. What we did was back it up.
So what you would do is just, he'd play the stuff on the piano and you just play along.
Right.
Well, it seems like you're able to adapt to all different styles.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you think that comes from? Just, Buddy Rich? Because he's like that. He's able to adapt to some different things, or...
I don't know. I like playing all kinds of music. Whatever. I love music, so I like...
You play like a Latin drummer, though. That's got to be like built in, because you play like that.
I guess God gave me that, or whoever. I don't know who did, but it was there.
So you started playing shows immediately as the Misfits.
Yeah.
There was never any other name. It was from day one.
Just Misfits, yeah.
And you started playing shows, and at first people didn't like you, but did they start to come around? And so how many shows did you do early on with the Misfits?
I don't know, let me see. I guess about maybe 6. I think 2 times at CBGB's. Where else did we play? CBGB's.
Do you remember those shows?
Lounge, yeah.
Remember CBGB's?
Yeah.
How was that at that time?
It was a long thing.
That's what they say.
Yeah, they had us downstairs waiting to be the last band to play. Just waiting down there. Everybody played before us. We played with the Shirts once, I think, once. And they were the headliners. And we were just waiting.
So you would go on after the headliner?
Yeah.
And at the very end of the night, everybody was...
Like 2 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah. We were new. Like I told somebody else the one time I was playing there, and I had aluminum drumsticks, jazz drumsticks, and there was a short underneath the mic. That was underneath the snare drum, and for me sweating playing, when I hit the snare drum, I'd get a damn shock. And I played the whole set. But I had to stay straight. I remember somebody asked me, how could you get electrocuted, with sticks to wood? And I'm saying, no, they were aluminum. I had a chrome snare drum. It was a conductor. And never stopped playing.
Probably did extra good that night.
Yeah, to get the set over.
So you played maybe 6 shows early on. How soon into that did you guys go into the studio and record your first single?
As soon as we had enough money, because every gig we did, we put into to making a record, stuff like that.
So were there only 2 songs recorded during that session?
Really, there was 3. It was supposed to be 3, but there wasn't enough room for the 3rd song.
So the 3rd song was recorded, but just not put onto the single?
Yeah.
Which song was that?
I'm trying to think. I think it was Heartbeats in the Night. That was a long time.
So you put it down to tape and then just picked those 2 off Golden Sheet?
Yeah.
Do you remember shooting those photos for the single cover?
Yeah, that was in my basement.
It was your basement?
Yeah. Put a sheet up, and then go inside this camera, put it on automatic, and just click. There was another guy that did photos for us, and he liked us a lot. And he took most of those photos, like I showed you. Most of the ones that were from me, it was from him. Mike Sandito is his name.
He took a lot of live shots of you guys at the time, or?
Yeah, yeah, it was just camera, you know, playing live. Like that one I showed you.
Sure.
That's how he did.
So, how many, do you remember where you had those records pressed, where you had them done, or?
No, because that was done, Glenn knew the guy that would do that. What Glenn really took care of most of that. You know, I mean, all he did was, you know, he had the connections in New York. So he got most of, you know, not most, all of it done.
So did you start selling them to shows and stuff, like?
That's what he was doing, every place we played with him. Here, a record. You know what I mean? We'll put a record in the jukebox, you know what I mean? But then at the door, we'd sell them. I didn't even know what we were selling them for.
Couple dollars.
Probably a couple bucks. I'd have to ask Jerry or Glenn, they probably don't remember either. We're trying to get our money back. Things were hard.
Did you guys have like t-shirts or anything made up, or?
Yeah. Well, those are good artists.
Sure.
And they just come up with these things, it's been no fun. I had a shirt, I remember it was blue, and it had a bullet hole in my heart. Played with that.
Did you ever have a stage name or anything? You always went by
Just Manny.
always that? Because everybody else changed your name. Jerry changed his name, Glenn.
My name was unusual enough.
Did you have Misfits shirts, like that said the Misfits on them, that you sold maybe at the merch table?
Oh, yeah,
Just with the logo,
yeah.
Misfits.
No, there was no logo there.
Oh, there wasn't, it was just,
No, just Misfit.
do you remember what they looked, just basic letters? Or,
I think it just said, MS, I think I had on it. Something like that. They had sold the shirts that had bullet holes in it and stuff like that.
anything to make a few bucks?
Yeah.
So so you put the record out, you guys start selling them at shows, and how many more shows did you do after the record came out? A bunch? Like, at what point did you decide that you wanted to go on and do something else after recording that stuff?
When we went to Canada, it took, like I was working and stuff like that, I always had money. And we went to Canada and first I had 850 bucks with me. And we got to custom and it cost $850. It was Christmas, the 24th. I had put all that money to get us to customs because they thought we were going to sell the equipment. And I got the money back, after we, came back.
Sure.
But then we got there, and it was all on the poles, all Misfits, the whole deal. Shark beater. We get in there, and the place was empty. And then all of a sudden, I kept looking from up on the stage, kept looking down. I see a little more people coming in, and there was another band playing before us. I don't remember the name of that band. And that was it. There was only 8 people, maybe 10.
Oh, wow.
And I said, time to move on. So I did. Told the guys I'm leaving.
Did you tell them there, or did you wait till you got back?
Well, I was pretty much pissed off on the way back.
We had no money left.
Didn't even have money to eat. Have a beer.
How did you meet him? Who brought him in? And
Oh, he was Jerry's friend. And he was green too, so we knew we could change him. And it happened.
so you brought him in and started playing more shows, but he was the guitar player while you were still in the band.
Yeah, he only knew a few chords. Jerry, I don't know how long Jerry's been, maybe a few months, 6 or 7 months, maybe 8. So, and so was Frank. Frank, when we first saw you, he was, was no,
So there was never anybody else that was in the Misfits? Like, because there's talk about like a guy named Jimmy Battle.
yeah,
and
I heard about that. Not when I was around. I don't even remember these guys.
So if those people did exist, it was pre-Misfits, some kind of...
I have no idea. There's another girl that she says she knows me and everything. She played with us.
Diane DP.
Yeah, that's right. I don't even remember her. And I wasn't getting that high. I don't remember her. You know, I'm saying to myself, it was only us.
It was just you, Glenn, Jerry,
And Frank.
and then Frank came in.
Yep, that was it.
That was it.
In my time, unless they were playing and I didn't see them.
Playing behind your
I
back.
don't know. Everybody's asked me that. Do you remember? No.
You just weren't there.
No.
That's it. Do you remember recording that song, Cough Cool and Sheen? Do you remember recording the two songs?
Oh yeah.
How was the sessions? Like, tell me, remember about those sessions.
That was the first time I was in the studio. I think, yeah, all of us. It was the first time. Because Glenn never had anything out, so that was the first time. It was an experience. It was
Do you
a fun
remember?
experience.
Do you remember actually recording it? Like,
Yeah, they had a set of drums there and stuff. Jerry had to bring the guitar, everything else was there. Small room, recorded it. Got the reel to reel. Paid him. Left.
so that was it. Was it a quick session? You recorded the song?
Yeah, we were pretty tight, you know. Maybe we did the song 2 times. Oh, in fact, I remember that we had to dub it, you know what I mean? Glenn, music was there and then Glenn was singing over, you know, in case he didn't sound right or anything like that. They did that. I remember that.
But there was only 1 or 2 takes of each song, and then
Yeah.
that was it, in and out.
Yeah, it cost money. Time is money.
And you need to save that
And
money.
we don't have any.
You need to save the money for the cowboy hat and the cowboy boots,
Yeah,
in case this
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work out.
You keep that up when this interview's over.
All right, so you leave the Misfits. What was your next project after you left the Misfits?
Oh, I got a few bands after that. Just commercial. One was, it was all original too. We made tapes, you know, we never published anything, you know what I mean? It's like college, playing in colleges and stuff like that we did. And then I even had a band that we were playing Elvis songs. This guy was named Lee Estrada. This guy wanted the whole big band, the horns, the guitar player. You know, we already had a band, but we figured, hey, money. So
There's a common theme here.
so we went like, I don't know, it was the whole live Elvis thing, you know what I mean? And this guy always had his Elvis suit on and stuff. And every time we'd be playing jump back downstairs, and all of a sudden he'd come in and his girlfriend used to say, "You shouldn't do that in front of him." So every time he came in, he'd go, "Okay, guys, what are we gonna do?" And I'd say, "How about an Elvis tune?" I was a real wall buster. I couldn't help it. You say something stupid, I'm gonna dance here.
So you kept playing.
Yeah.
When was the next? Did you ever record any other material after the Misfits?
None that I wanted, put it that way. I mean, there's stuff that I wanted, I still have.
Was it ever released? Did you
No.
ever? No, so you recorded, but you just never.
Yeah, I still have it, but you have to go through people. People, money, lawyers.
It's a common theme here.
Well, it's the truth.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. So have you ever, since those days, which is actually 40 years ago, believe it or not, I know it's been 40 years now since that stuff was recorded. Have you ever run into Glenn or
I'm
Jerry?
36 right now.
Yeah, I didn't put
Do
you
it
on a day.
backwards.
Have you ever run into the guys from that day, whether, Frank, Jerry, Glenn, any of them?
Oh, I went to see him a few times. Talked to him.
Still on the terms?
See? Yeah, I went to the bus and I told the big guy, I know him. I was the original drummer. And he said, Manny's out there? He said, let me in. Started bullshitting.
About just the old days and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ask Glenn about Diane DiPiazza if she was ever in the band?
This name, it's haunting me. I swear to God, it's haunting me. I can't picture this girl. It's unbelievable. Everybody asks me. Maybe I blanked it out of my mind. I don't know.
Maybe she was somebody's girlfriend or something.
Huh?
Maybe she was someone's girlfriend or something. Or
Not that I know of. I know all Jerry's girlfriends. And Glenn, most of the time, he was just doing his music. He went to New York, he had his chicks there.
but everything was about music for him.
Pretty much all of us.
How was he? How did you get along with him back then? Was he cool?
Oh, I got along with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a hard guy to get along with. I mean,
Well, you're a cowboy, so it's,
I'm telling you. No,
He had a love for horror movies and stuff back then. Was that something you shared
Oh.
too? Did you like that stuff?
yeah, I
too?
like horror movies.
What's your favorite? What's your
Oh, so many. I like the Abbott Costello with Frankenstein.
nice, a classic? So is it cool for you? Like, do you like the fact that like people still remember something you did 40 years ago, and it's kind of like iconic?
It's very funny. It's definitely funny.
You had no idea at the time either that what you were doing was.
No.
So you had no idea that there was such a huge fan base?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I guess just for the new Misfits.
But not the original stuff that you
You
guys did?
know,
Oh, there's a bigger fan base for that.
I
That's for
heard.
sure. That's for sure. How was Lodi as a town to grow up? I know you said it was rough at the time, but was it? Because there's still some of the places in Lodi that I think were there at the time when you were first there, like Lodi Pizza.
Oh, yeah,
Carter
yeah, I
Sugar
know
Bowl,
all those
stuff like
places.
that.
Yeah.
Did you go to all those places?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you were in the Misfits and stuff?
Yeah. All those places.
See that? He hung out at Lodi Pizza.
Everybody went there.
Was the candy store there? Cardi Sugar Bowl? Was that?
Yeah.
He went to Cardi Sugar Bowl.
You said what?
Cardi Sugar Bowl, you were there. Subliminal messages. And he wore his cowboy hat.
That never happened.
All right, I think we got it.
The guy's a comedian, isn't he?
Yeah, funny guy. Manny, thank you for
Oh,
your time. Thank you so much as a huge fan. And I gotta tell you, after, hearing stuff beyond Cough Cool, your playing is phenomenal.
oh, thank you.
And I mean, like seriously, like I'm really blown away by how good it is because, after only hearing Cough Cool and Sheen, it's very
Yeah,
basic
yeah.
recorded, but you're like a different animal when you're put on stage in
Yeah.
front of people. 'Cause, I
Yeah,
mean, some of that
yeah.
stuff, some of the roles and stuff that I was hearing, I'm like,
a lot of people
wow.
said that. They used to say, not that good drummer. But when I got on stage, I was different.
yeah.
I just, like a horse. Just got into it.
Well, you had a different look too. You're gonna see a couple of photos of him. He's got the rock hair and the mustache, the cowboy mustache. You're gonna.
I only had a mustache because one girl liked the mustache and I figured I'd grow it.
So Manny likes women and money. That's basically.
That's about it. What is there?
You're right, dude. I'm right there with you.
I love love, but
Money and women
that's it.
and drums.
And drums. And I'm happy.